Hi folks, Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. During the blog post we want to share with you, we of course review the latest in social media and technology. This is the versus comparison we're doing. Of course, we've done a number of versus comparison. We have all the major phone companies sending us phones now, so you definitely want to make sure and sign up to our email list on the ChrisVossShow.com, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel under Chris Voss. So be sure to do that so you get all the latest and greatest updates. Of course, we have the phone companies sending us the latest phones as soon as they come out so we can benchmark them and compare them and see them going on. So what we're doing here is we're doing a comparison between the T-Mobile Galaxy Note. This is the original Note. The Galaxy Note 2 is just about ready to come out, so we're going to do a review on this. And also we have the Verizon Motorola Razr M that we're going to be comparing it with. Both are really fast devices. With the T-Mobile device, you can go to t-mobile.com. That's t-mobile.com. See all their wonderful phones, and of course see the wonderful phones we reviewed from them on the ChrisVossShow.com. Same thing with Verizon. You can go to verizonwireless.com and be sure to check out all their great phones and see the wonderful videos and comparisons we've done with all their great phones. So let's get into the meat of these two different devices. They definitely have a difference in size when you really look at the size of them. But let's break them down so you can see how much they might work for you if you're trying to upgrade to one of these different devices. Now, let's start with the Galaxy Note. The Galaxy Note has dimensions. Let's go ahead and close that. It has dimensions of 5.78 inches, 3.27 width, and 0.38 in thickness. Comparatively, on the Motorola Droid, it has 4.82 inch height, 2.4 in width, and 0.33 in thickness. The weight of the Galaxy Note is 6.28 ounces. It's not too bad to feel in your hand, I should say. The weight on the Motorola is 4.44 ounces. Battery talk time on the Note is 10 hours max, 250 hours max standby, and a 2500 lithium battery. On the talk time for the Motorola Droid, it's 20 hours max, 408 hours max standby, and a 2000 milliamp battery. So both these devices have really huge batteries in them. The display on the Note is a resolution 800 by 1280 pixels, 5.3 diagonal screen, Super AMOLED HD, OLED full color type screen. With the Razr, you're looking at OLED full color, resolution is 540 by 960 pixels, 4.3 inch diagonal Super AMOLED advanced screen. Both are running Android 4.04 currently on the thing that we have, so they're currently updated that. And I believe there is word going around that they are slowly updating the Galaxy Note to Jelly Bean. So watch for that to take place. Evidently that process has just started as of recording of this video. The processor in the Galaxy Note is a 1.5 gigahertz Qualcomm Snapdragon S3 dual-core processor, as the Motorola is also a 1.5 gigahertz dual-core processor. Memory-wise, in your Samsung Galaxy Note, it has 16 gigabytes of internal storage. Raw hardware is 12.9 gigabytes, and available to user is 1 gigabyte of RAM. With the Droid Razr, it's 8 gigabytes of internal RAM, raw hardware 4.5 gigabytes internal storage. Available to user is 1 gigabytes of RAM. Now, with the the Motorola Razr M, it has an expandable memory slot where you can add up to 32 gigabytes of memory if you so choose, with a micro SD card. Or I'm sorry, not USD card, a micro SD card, I should say. Okay, so let's take a look at, and also on the T-Mobile Galaxy Note, it has expandable memory up to 32 gigabytes with a micro SD card also. Resolution on the Note is 8 megapixels on the back. Front facing is a 2 megapixel front facing camera, which is pretty great. It does have TV output HDMI via an MHL USB adapter, and has video capture resolution of 1080p. With the Motorola Razr, you're looking at 8 megapixel on the back camera, I believe it's front-facing resolution VGA. I believe it's 0.3 from my understanding of it. Resolution on the back is, of course, 1080p HD. Front is VGA. And so that gives us a rundown of both devices. There's some differences with the Galaxy Note. The Galaxy Note is designed to have a stylus on the back, and we'll get some more into the details in the body, but it has a stylus that comes out of the body, and you can use this for drawing, writing, all those sort of good stuff. I didn't know people wrote anymore, but there you go. That's the beauty of the Galaxy Note. And you've got a big screen to be able to watch videos, do a lot of things on. It's almost like having a little mini tablet, if you will. So let's take a look at both devices and how they take and work. With the Motorola, you have a finite swipe. One thing you do have that's really interesting is you have the ability to have an animated background, and you can change these, what they call them, live backgrounds. You can change for different galleries, wallpapers, and everything else. You can basically have this, you can see the movement through the screen here. You can have this thing going on. One thing with its setup is where normally Androids you go back and forth, if you pull from the left to the right, you see the phone settings, the quick settings, you can easily get into to make quick adjustments to the phone, as opposed to having more apps and stuff over here. We like that. It's pretty cool. With the Galaxy Note, it of course has the ability to go around. Now it has what's called infinite swipe, where basically once you start swiping, you can just keep going. You don't have to go back to get to the place you want it to be. You, of course, on both devices have the things that most Android lovers love. You have the widget facilities where you can add widgets and everything else to the device and be able to make some of the cool things like this weather thing that you see here. T-Mobile Mobile Life. Looks like here's some different TV stuff, all that sort of good stuff. It looks like here's their S-Note memo, which is a part of the device system with being able to write your own memos with the stylus and stuff like that. So, you can do that and be really creative if you so choose. That's your thing. You can write on, of course, and all that good stuff. So, both are running 4.04. Let's show you the notification menus. You can see the notification menus are here. Now, I've always been in love with the Samsung Galaxy 3 and Galaxy Note top parts here that they have, where you have this really quick thing where you can easily change some of the different settings. Looks like the Galaxy S3, you can slide over and change a few more settings. Looks like this is fairly limited. Okay, so and you can do the same thing over here on the Motorola. It just depends on where you prefer to get your quick settings and all that sort of good stuff. And they're both running Android 4.04. Let's take a look at the bodies on the devices. Across the top of the T-Mobile, we have your speaker, we have a front-facing camera. We also have a menu button, a home button, a back button, and a search button. On the Motorola, we have a back button, home button, and a recent apps button that will pull up recent apps we've been using. On the Motorola, I believe there's a speaker for the thing under the Motorola logo here. It angles up and there's something under there, so I imagine that's what it is. There's a front-facing camera. There's also a microphone hole here on it. The T-Mobile Galaxy Note is a huge, big, kind of mini tablet where the Razr kind of cuts down to an edge from tapers, if you will, from a large top to a thin bottom. It makes it very easy to carry around. It's a great device if you want something that's really small, fast, and powerful. And so we like it for that version. Let's flip these babies over so that you can take a look at the backs of them. Now, the Galaxy Note, you can see here we have a back camera, of course. We have the lamp light flash. We have I believe this will be the speaker here, and then we have a place where the pen takes and removes, and we can take and use that pen to do different stuff on the device. With the Motorola, it has, I believe this is a Kevlar back, if I recall reading correctly. It's a really nice looking back, really sturdy. We have the camera lamp here. We have the camera eye here. We have the lamp flash here. We have the speaker here. We were a little concerned when we first got this, the speaker was face down against something when you wanted to use it. If it was on a desk, that it wouldn't work well. It works incredibly well. It's actually a monster speaker for something as small as it is as most Android phones come. Usually when you see a speaker that small or face downward, there's some concern there, but it definitely rocks. It's definitely a very impressive speaker. You can see the speaker a little bit better here underneath once we remove the cover of the Samsung. It looks much like their S3 line. You can see here, of course, the place for your SIM card and then the place for the expandable micro SD chip. Nice thing here too is if you want to buy more additional batteries, you can flip those out on the fly. We'll show you where the micro SD card goes in the Motorola here in a second. Okay folks, so here we're seeing the bottom of both devices. You can see there's a micro USB sync and charge jack. We have a small microphone hole here, and we have the port where the pen comes in and out for use with the Galaxy Note. You can't really see it because it's kind of curved up, but we have a small microphone hole on the bottom. That's pretty much it for the Razr. Across the top of each device, we have the earphone jack. We have a small microphone hole on the Note, and then we have a earphone jack on the Motorola Razr. Okay, so down the right side of each device, we have a very small, great power button here. On the Note, we have a volume rocker up and down here on the Razr and a power button there. Flipping these devices both around, we have a volume rocker up and down here. We have a sync charge cable plug here, micro USB, and we also have this flip out area, which is kind of interesting on the Razr. What this will do is this will make it so we can put our SIM card in here. We can also put in the expandable 32 gigabytes of memory there. Okay, so here we can see both devices. The Note, what we're doing is a speed test with the Wi-Fi off. Now we're going from the results log here, so if you're seeing the Wi-Fi on, you don't need to point that out to me on YouTube. These are the results of the T-Mobile test with the Wi-Fi off earlier. These are the results of the Motorola test with the Wi-Fi off earlier. So interesting pattern here. The Note is super fast and brings down a lot of data. Okay, so here we can see on both devices, this is the Geekbench 2 score that has been run on each of them. And what we're looking at is on the Geekbench score for the Note, 784 against the Razr, 1460. You see the breakdown here, pretty much the Razr dominated the whole process. Let's go through these, and you can of course pause this if you so choose. You'll kind of note that we're seeing something we also see on the Galaxy S3. We're seeing screen lag. Some people report this as happening for them, some people don't. We're not sure why. We know that if you turn off certain things or turn on certain things, as we've done in videos you can find on the Chris Voss Show.com, the screen lag gets more or less evident depending upon what you turn on or off in the developer settings. So it's interesting to see that the same screen lag is apparent in the Note as we found with the Galaxy S3 and many other people did. You can pause these at any time if you so choose. Okay, so now here we can see the amzn.to benchmark scores at 2.9.3 app. At 6501, you can see some of the breakdown of the integers and everything else. 6809 for our Motorola Razr. Okay, so here you can see on both devices some comparisons to how well they perform with the GL benchmark 2.5.1 app. You can see here that on the top score here they scored 1308 frames at 12 frames per second against the GL benchmark. Same scoring thing for the Razr was 3202 frames at 28 frames per second. I'll let you look at some of the other comparisons. You can pause this video if you want to do the comparisons between the two and all that good stuff. Okay, so using the quadrant standard test here, you can see here that the Note performed at 3657 according to their results. You can see some of the totals down here, and came in just below the ASUS Transformer Prime and the HTC 1S, or 1X, excuse me. And the Motorola performed outbeating the both devices, 4944. Alright, so now here we can see a display test. We're taking and testing the colors on the display. I can tell you that the color on the Galaxy Note, the green, is much broader, richer, and everything else. The Motorola Razr has a great color to it, and it does have a good green. It might be that some of my aspect has changed in my perception of this because of the size of the green on the T-Mobile, but I do think it has a little bit better green on the Note, and I think the reds and blues, purples, a little bit better. But definitely the green is more abundant, thicker, and richer on the Note as far as I can see here. The Razr, though, in our tests that we've done with other phones, has performed very well. Okay, so here what we're doing is the GPS test. What we're doing is testing as to how many satellites each device can pick up and how well it can determine where it is on the planet. You can see here that both devices do very well in this test. The T-Mobile comes in at 21 pics that it's picking up, also with the Razr, 11 in use, 12 in use with the Razr. This goes up and down, of course, as time goes by, and they're picking up within normal accuracy of 10 feet that most phones pick up. Okay, so here you can see the results of our Velamo test. This takes and shows us basically on the devices on the Galaxy Note how well each device performed. Now, they usually do the SunSpider, JavaScript, and several other different other browser things with this. The Note did 1139 against 1691 on the Motorola, 350 on the T-Mobile Note as compared to 550 on the Motorola. Okay, so here you can see the billion counter test. What this takes and does is it measures how quickly each device can count to a billion. You can see here it did it in 39.043 seconds on the T-Mobile Note and 33.91 seconds on the Motorola. Okay, now here we can see on both devices, this is the SQL test, RL benchmark SQL Lite performance. You can see the test. This basically runs tests of inserts, index, making indexes, drawing, with deleting indexes, drop tables, all that sort of good stuff. I didn't mean drawing, but drop table. You can see the results here that we got overall with this test is 39.841 seconds and 26.949 seconds. Okay, so here we can see both devices, the scores they're getting with using the KFS benchmark. The overall score for the display frames per second was 39.392 for the Razr and 17.8 for the Samsung Galaxy Note. Basically, what this test is frames per second rate on the displays. Okay, so we can see here on both devices we've used the AnTuTu 3D rating benchmark. This gave the Note a score of 1883 and a score on the Motorola of 3608. Okay, so here we can see how both devices perform using the AnE benchmark. And the great thing about this is, of course, you can follow along at home. This measures the native and Java threads processing for both devices. So the Galaxy Note processed 3119 in native threads against 5227 on the Razr and 86 in Java against 159 on the Razr. Okay, so here you can see the results of the speed test that we've taken and done with the T-Mobile. This, of course, was done using the T-Mobile as a hotspot. We're using the results log here, if you notice the Wi-Fi on the T-Mobile. This picked up 4G network on the T-Mobile, and so you can see the numbers here is what we got consistently. This basically, like I said, is using the Note as a hotspot for the iPad 3 and what the iPad 3 burned through in getting data from it. Okay, so now here we can see the speed test results using the Motorola as a hotspot. So we've activated it as a hotspot, fed it to a iPad 3G, which will burn a lot of data if you give it to it. And you can see here the results we got from the Verizon network. So it processed a lot of really great data very quickly and very fast, as you can see here. Alright, so here we're doing a Skype call, and this is a video call across a localized Wi-Fi. You can see that the T-Mobile, of course, is sending really good video over to the iPad 3. So this is what the front-facing camera at 2.0 is sending to this camera. So that looks great. That's coming out really, really well. So great camera on the front-facing camera. It looks like it feeds really well. The reception isn't too good on this side, but I'm not sure why. Some of that may be due to, we might have something on the iPad or something. But it definitely looks good on what it's sending on the front-facing camera. Okay, so once again, we're sending a Skype call. Now this is going over T-Mobile's network, and you can see here the front-facing camera that sends to my iPad 3. Just it sends an incredible picture, probably the best picture we've ever seen on a mobile device. Looks like we're getting some stuff there, so you can see that. Okay, so what we're doing now is we're doing an in-Skype call on a localized Wi-Fi. You can see here the picture comes out really good on my iPad 3 coming from the Motorola, and actually broadcasts and receives my picture really well from the iPad 3. So really good job. In fact, this may be the best Skype picture I've seen from a forward-facing camera. So pretty cool stuff. Great, amazing little phone. Okay, so now we have a Skype call. We're using the Verizon network. We're not using a localized Wi-Fi, and this is going through Skype. And wow, it's coming out really good on the iPad 3, and I'm coming across fairly good back through the Motorola. So I'm pretty impressed. Little fallout here and there every now and then, but then it will usually improve as it goes through. But yeah, really impressed with the like, once again, this is one of the better pictures we've seen coming from a front-facing camera. Okay, so now here we can see the camera on the T-Mobile. It's pretty standard for most of your cameras that you're going to find on your Android devices. Has pretty much a lot of the same sort of settings and customization tools. You have your front and back reverse here. You have the ability to turn on your flash, auto flash, on and off, depending upon whether you're in video mode or photography mode. You have settings, of course, that you can access here. In your settings, you can edit shortcuts, do self-portrait, flash, shooting modes you can take and do. One thing you can do, of course, is multiple shooting modes: smile shot, panoramic, share shot, action shots, scene modes that you have access to: portrait, landscape, night, sports, party, beach, sunset, dawn, fall color, firework, text, candlelight, and backlight. So you have all that. Exposure value, of course, you can also adjust. You can tweak those settings. Let's see, what else do we have? You can also tweak, let's see, scene mode. I think we went through that. Focus mode, you've got your focus mode, timer mode, effects that you can take and put on, negative, grayscale, sepia. Looks like that's all they have on here. The S3 has more, so that's interesting. You can adjust the resolution, white balance, ISO, metering, anti-shake, auto contrast, blink detection, guidelines, image quality, GPS tagging, shutter sound, where to store things, all that good stuff if you have the storage card put in. Pretty much the same sort of thing that you're going to see here when you switch to video. You can, of course, switch this over to where you can do normal recording mode, self-recording, or limit for MMS, which is good to have. You've got your ability to adjust the flash, or your lamp, if you will. You can also record different modes, exposure values, timers, effects that you might want to take and use, resolution, white balance, video quality, guidelines you can have on or off. Let's take a look at some of the effects they have. Looks like you just have negative, grayscale, and sepia here. And some of the newer devices and Androids, they have much more to choose from. And that's pretty much it. You, of course, can access the shortcuts menu over here too by accessing the menu. Let's take a look at the camera itself and how it operates. You can see here we took an afternoon photo with the sun going down, so the angles don't look too good on this, but we wanted to just show you the colors anyway. Here's one, of course, you can see we're shooting into the sun. Beautiful blues and greens that, of course, come out in this. You can see the yellows come out very well too. Great shot, just really sharp shots. You can't say enough about the Samsung Galaxy camera. So let's take a look here. Takes great video, just really great video. So very impressed with the video, especially in well-lit situations. Let's take a look at some of the photos. Here's a photo we took outside. Now I think the flower is blowing around a little bit on us, but you can see the colors it takes. Now what we're going to do is we're going to test it under low light or complete darkness situations. This is a complete dark room that we're in, and we're using the lamp on the camera. You can see here how the device did. The lamp lights up the area very, very well. It's definitely bright, and you can see as we stand back and move around, it comes out very well too. You can also see here the this is a picture with using a flash. The colors come out really well. This is a complete dark situation. So the Samsung has a great camera to it. It really rocks and does a great job, as expected with some of the latest Samsung Galaxies that have come out. Okay, so the Motorola's got a great camera. It's got a really fast shutter. I really enjoy using it. It's fun to play with. For some reason, it just seems to be more responsive to the camera. It's got a great screen, of course, to work from. You've got your zoom in and out. You've got your area for your albums up here. It's got most of the same menu you'd find on an Android. You've got your settings here where you can do different things with shutters and stuff like that. You've got effects that you can take and add on here. You've got scenes that you can take and do. You've got modes you can do. You've got exposure, and then you've got your flash you can control. And then what's nice is you can just swipe and get rid of this little adjustment bar here, which is really nice. And of course, you can get the focus and all that good stuff. Now you can easily switch between video and your shutter for your camera. You can easily switch from front to back, and you've got your shutter button here in both cases. It's a great little camera. I really enjoyed it. Let's take a look at some of the pictures we got. Now, one thing we really noticed about the camera, well, I'll get to that in a second. You can see here's a picture of a flower that we took. The light's a little rough during the day that we took that picture. Here's an outdoor picture that came out pretty well. Video-wise, the video comes out really well. Great blues, greens, everything is pretty much what it should be and how it works. Great camera. I mean, is it the best camera in the world? I'm not sure. You'd have to do some comparison testing, but it's a good camera. Now, this is one thing we always do. We always shoot my floor because some cameras jack up the yellow, blues, and greens to artificially adjust the brightness in the pictures and make them look like the pictures are cooler. This actually takes an accurate picture of the colors on my floor. What's even cooler is the video also takes an accurate picture also. So, we're very impressed by that it's not having its software manipulating its colors. The low light pictures of camera, this is taken completely in the dark with the flash. You can see here it takes a great photo without blowing out the photo. One thing we were super impressed with, and I started talking about this earlier, is its low light lamp ability. It has a brilliant lamp on it that takes great dark pictures. This is completely in the dark, and you can see it does a great job of lighting up not only the local area really close, but pretty much the whole area that we were working in. So we were really surprised that something as thin and small has that great of a lamp. So really blown away. You can hear me say wow on the tape there. So yeah, great little camera on the Motorola. I was very impressed with it. Be sure to check that out on the deal. Alright, so the Galaxy Note has a feature that many of the mobile phones that we review on the ChrisVossShow.com don't have. It has the ability to have its own stylus, or pen if you will, that you can use to manipulate, operate the screen, handwrite stuff, make notes by handwriting, and of course maybe draw if that's your thing. So let's take a look at how this device works. We'll take and click on it here. We're using it in the stand, so we're going to hopefully try and keep this propped up well. Now we're in edit mode, which means we can use this to draw all over the place and do different things with. So this is something that most people don't have the ability to take and do several different things with this, as you can see. And of course you can take and use it as an eraser and all that good stuff, so you can take and use it that way. Pretty cool little handy device if writing is your thing. I'm really surprised because I didn't know anybody wrote anymore, but I imagine there's lots of people that are artists that would really like this sort of aspect, or people that really are into writing. So there you go. It's the Galaxy Note, and a feature that most things you won't find on mobile phones. Okay, so overall we like both devices. The T-Mobile, you can get the Galaxy Note at t-mobile.com. That's t-mobile.com. The Motorola Razr M you can get at verizonwireless.com. That's verizonwireless.com. Chris Voss tested, Chris Voss approved. Tell them Chris Voss sent you. Be sure to check out both their websites and also see the other comparison videos we've done on the chrisvossshow.com and our YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe to our daily email list and our YouTube channel so you can get all the latest and greatest stuff. Thanks for coming by the chrisvossshow.com. I'll let you decide which phone might work best for you.